Welcome to LingoShift, the podcast for learning Japanese on the go. Today, we will have a special practice session to review and master the essential sentence patterns for talking about time. First, let's review how to ask and state the current time. The question is, "Ima nanji desu ka?" This means, what time is it now? Let's practice an answer. The sentence is, "Ima gogo 3時20分です." This means it is 3:20 p.m. now. Listen again. 今、午後3時20分です. Now you say the sentence. 今、午後3時20分です. Next, let's review how to talk about a duration of time, using kara for from and made for until. Let's practice a sentence about a department store's hours. The sentence is, デパートは時から時までです. This means the department store is open from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Listen again. デパートは10時から8時までです. Now you say the sentence. デパートは10時から8時までです. Now it is time for a quick quiz. First quiz question. How do you ask, what time is it now? Take a moment to think. The answer is, 今何時ですか? Second quiz question. How do you say, the bank is open from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock? Think about it. The answer is, 銀行は9時から3時までです. Excellent. Now, let's review how to state the specific time an action happens. We use the particle ni after the time. Let's learn a new verb, 始まります, which means to begin. The sentence is, 映画は7時に始まります. This means, the movie begins at 7 o'clock. Listen again. 映画は7時に始まります. Now you say the sentence. 映画は7時に始まります. Finally, let's review how to talk about actions in the past. We use time words like 昨日 and the verb ending ました. Let's practice a sentence. The sentence is, 私は今朝勉強しました. This means, I studied this morning. Listen again. 私は今朝勉強しました. Now you say the sentence. 私は今朝勉強しました. Let's do a final recap. We reviewed asking and telling the time. We reviewed using kara and made for duration. We reviewed using the particle ni for the time of an action. We reviewed using the mashita verb form for past actions. Now for our final quiz. First question. You want to say, I studied from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock yesterday. How would you construct that sentence? Take a moment to think. The answer is, 私は昨日7時から9時まで勉強しました. Second question. You want to ask your friend, what time do you wake up? How would you ask that question? Think about it carefully. The answer is, 何時に起きますか? You have completed today's practice session. You have now reviewed and solidified all the essential ways to talk about time in Japanese. Thanks for learning with LingoShift.
LingoShift.